I've experienced the streets all over the country. Um, some places grimier than others. I've been in some of the grimiest places.
Yeah.
Tucson's one of them.
Yeah.
It's and maybe the the world, the culture, this is sliding into is on the streets everywhere is probably getting worse in that on that front.
Yeah.
It's just different from how the old timers talk about how it was and how it was when I was 20 years ago when I first started hitting the streets. So there's a lot more camaraderie and
Yeah.
looking out for each other, and it's more dog eat dog and stuff these days. It seems like everywhere, but especially here
Yeah, bro.
and some other
I
places.
hear a lot of people trying blues for the first time out here. All right. So here's the mic for the audio. You want you to put on your shirt or put on your hat? Doesn't matter. Yeah, put it right here for you. Here you go. There you go. Good boy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So quiet, Mike.
Yep.
All right. I'll sit with you here. And we got Deacon. This is Deacon right here. Hey, buddy. Like your shoes, Deacon. All right. Hey, how you doing? All right, man. So how old are you, Mike?
What month is this?
We are June.
June.
Yeah.
Okay.
June 2024.
All right. So in about a month, I'll be 42.
Right on.
I think. I skipped my last birthday, so
Yeah.
I get a little confused sometimes. I'm like, am I 41,
I understand, bro.
42?
The older I get,
Something like that. Yeah.
yeah, the older I get, the
less
more I
it's-
forget how old I am.
Yeah. I don't want to really know.
Yeah. So what has you out here, bro?
I came to Tucson. I'm from this town, but like left when I was 8 with my family. Grew up elsewhere, a lot of places, but
Yeah.
I started coming back here around 18. When I left home to travel, and I would come here for the gym show.
Okay.
Usually, I'm going to Quartzsite first. Sometimes I come here next. That's what happened a few years ago, probably more like 5 years ago now. Um, I was vending in Quartzsite. I had a lot of goals and stuff, and I was on my way to achieving them. But then everything kind of fell apart on like financially and otherwise, like on the way here, between Quartzsite and here, Slab City, and yeah, like I left Colorado with thousands of dollars and product to vend, and I got here with nothing, and I haven't had more than a few $100 at once since then. Um, yeah, like the gym shows what brought me here slash what I was trying to do, which is actually YouTube channel related. I had aspirations for a channel. By the way, this is my second interview. If you do a podcast version, Force and Fire podcast had interviewed me the first time, but completely different subject matter. But yeah, that's what brought me, and then what kept me here. What um, um, the blues basically.
The blues.
Yeah, they don't got them where I was coming from.
Yeah.
I mean, they got the real deal. I've been on opiates for 20 years. I've been treating chronic pain daily with opioids for 20 years, mostly with kratom. The pain pills that the doctors prescribe, kratom. This and that here and there. Some poppies, some whatever. Um, but when I got here, my last dose of kratom, I ran out of my last dose. I had my last dose of kratom the day I got here, and so I ran to the methadone clinic. And so that's what was keeping me here first was methadone.
Okay.
Because, you got to go there every day. Blues seemed like a step towards freedom. Like I'm not dependent on that building. But I ain't left yet. I would have to fill my pockets with a couple $1,000s worth of that shit to feel like I'm not gonna get sick or in pain. You know, um, I don't. So like that's basically what's kept me here. I'd say like,
Okay.
I, well, it's all in my head. It's my mind because it's
Yeah.
not like I can't. You know, uh,
And how long you been doing the blues now?
since I got here,
Okay.
like tried them out probably the day I got here. Maybe it took a few days,
Okay.
but
And did the first time you took them, do you remember if it like how did it make you feel? Like since you didn't take the kratom and how was it your first time? Did
well,
it take away those withdrawals or?
well, I mean, I was taking methadone,
Oh, okay.
so I didn't have to worry about withdrawals.
Okay.
So I'd only every now and again just like hit someone's pill or something, like,
Yeah.
and I mostly didn't notice it.
Yeah.
You know, if I got a good, strong enough pill, good enough hit, held it in long enough, you know, I would get a short-lived, strong opiate slash kind of a dissociative psychedelic effect, kind of like ketamine-esque, like um, kind of like the nod, the dream, which you could have while awake. I found that interesting, and
Yeah.
maybe with some like
Yeah.
shamanistic, pseudo shamanistic potential there.
Yeah.
Uh, that's yeah. Mostly didn't feel anything except for sometimes I got a little taste of that.
Okay.
You know, until I like got a whole pill in me all at once, uh, like with a bong. Then I really felt its power.
Yeah. And as far as like before like addiction came in your life, what would you do before that? Like any jobs, school?
Honestly, I'd have to agree with the teachings attributed with the Buddha. If you're here in this human existence living,
Yeah.
you're suffering, and you're suffering because of addiction. So I don't know a life without addiction. I
Yeah.
think single cell organisms are addicted. We're addictive creatures.
Yeah.
But if you mean like before exogenous, illicit drug consumption of addictive substances,
Yeah.
you know, uh, let's see. I mean, uh, I try. I wasn't. I had them in my life for years without it getting any sort of dependency to them. I'm way into altered states of consciousness via whatever any means, as long as it's not harmful.
Yeah.
Uh, and I don't think necessarily, any heroin, meth, crack, any of those
Yeah.
harmful necessarily. They just tend to, they're harder, not easier drugs.
Okay.
You know, I wouldn't call. I don't think of a dichotomy as hard and soft, but easy and hard. And like, like I didn't get dependent on anything until kratom. Kratom is actually which is not considered a hard drug at all.
Yeah.
That's the first opioid. Well, I guess also the stuff the doctors gave me. I was dependent on that, but so the kratom happened around the same time. I was like, here, I'd rather do this.
Yeah.
It's natural and
Yeah.
get it at the store. I don't need permission and stuff. So,
Yeah. So what's a day in the life like for you now?
um,
Wake up.
yeah, like these days, it's a struggle to make sure that my life's full of um, anything other than merely trying to feel a little better all day. because that's hell. I found myself doing that. I found myself, for the second time in my life, uh, experiencing things you hear people talk about in the rooms. I've been forced in those rooms ever since I was little because of my exploration with psychedelics, and hell, even before that, I was sent to the principal's office for being high all the time before I ever tried drugs. It's like just the way I think and talk and act really concerned authority, and um,
You seem
yeah,
like a real smart guy, man.
yeah, I am.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah, man. So how many blues do you think you're running through a day?
Um, I keep slipping into a good 50,
Okay, yeah,
and then there's stuff that I've found that can help me cut back to 15. 10 is comfortable. Less than that, remember, I'm treating chronic pain here.
sure,
I I,
sure.
I,
I've
I
heard
need
up to.
something. If
I've
I
heard
get too low, I'm hurting.
absolutely, absolutely. I've heard this one guy interviewed up to 150 to 200 a day,
Yeah,
depending on
I've
what he
I've I've
does.
had some days like that.
Yeah,
And there are people out here that, that
yeah,
uh, they have every day is like that.
yeah. Do you have a tent like for you and your dog, or
I
just wherever?
just I just I just sold my that I've been lugging this tent around forever, and
Yeah.
that, mostly sleeping on top of it.
Okay.
Like I like being under the stars. The weather's good, and
Yeah. Nature.
I like moving around. And I thought I'd like having a place to put stuff, but that just means I'm gonna get stuff stolen from. I'm gonna get more stuff. They're gonna take it. It'll be heavy. I'm gonna lug it around, or then I'm gonna stash it in the tent. It's just more stuff, more problems. So
I understand.
someone
Yeah,
really wanted it, and they offered me some drugs for it.
I understand.
I said okay.
Yeah, yeah. I hear that a lot. Theft, everything, everything. You leave for a little bit, come back, stuff's either rifled through or just gone. You know, I
Yeah,
I've heard a lot of that.
yeah. It's
Survival out here, bro.
I've experienced the streets all over the country. Um, some places grimier than others. I've been some of the grimiest places.
Yeah,
Tucson's one of them.
yeah,
It's and maybe the the world, the culture this is sliding into is on the streets everywhere is probably getting worse in that on that front.
yeah,
It's just different from how the old timers talk about how it was and how it was when I was 20 years ago when I first started hitting the streets. So there's a lot more camaraderie and
yeah,
looking out for each other, and it's more dog eat dog and stuff these
yeah,
days. It seems like everywhere, but especially here
yeah, bro.
and some other
I hear a
places.
lot of people trying blues for the first time out here,
Hmm.
um, and we're by the border, so it's always something going on.
Yeah.
Um, is there anything that you want people to know about addiction or homelessness? Any message you have? I won't keep you too much longer.
Yeah. Um,
Or how we could help you,
y um,
anything like that.
if you don't live in a house, doesn't mean you don't have a home. Home is where the heart is, and you can build community, find home, make home anywhere. I never found it inside houses. Well, I can't say never, but when I did it on purpose, on my terms. Raising my family. Uh, um, it can be a choice. Some of us don't fit in society, and we can't. Some of us would rather not. I'm more of the like rather not. Like I, and I, when I've got a place and I got a lot of stuff going on, business, and when I've had kids and stuff, and all that. When it's time for a vacation, my idea of vacation is to throw on a backpack and you know lock up the credit card and go play street kid for a little while, go
Yeah.
hitchhike around for a little bit and stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, don't you see somebody on the side of the road, all dirty and grimy, they might be they could be wealthy in many ways or not. You never know. It's hard to, you never know. It's good to treat everybody you don't know with the respect you like to have, and you never know, doors might be opened up for you and stuff.
Absolutely.
And then as far as addiction goes, I as I had mentioned, I was forced into the recovery community early on, and as you mentioned, I'm kind of smart. I take issue with, like, I'm not completely against any model or any system that works for people. 12 steps, the medical model of addiction and recovery is the most popular, but it's losing traction. And there's newer approaches. There's ones that don't depend on abstinence as a necessary component to recovery. I'm attracted to stuff like that, but beware those of us who are attracted to stuff like that, like a la Aleister Crowley's Diary of a Drug Fiend, as that's how you're gonna, that works for some of us, but I've known people who've killed themselves trying to oh, I'm fine, I'll reward myself with this for not doing heroin with this heroin, and then they die. Like, it's not a game, but like, there's a lot of more options, and we like, um, I for one refuse to admit that I'm powerless over my anything
Yeah.
ever. That my higher power, accepting my higher power is one with refusing to accept powerlessness over my addiction.
Yeah.
So, conflict there of interest. Can't do the 12 steps, but I'm glad it works for people. It's an addiction that it's a replacement therapy. It's a lot healthier addiction
Yeah.
than other ones.
Yeah.
And
It's about finding what works for you.
yeah,
Um, ultimately, yeah. Um, so as far as like the resources available to you, are you familiar with those? Like the detoxes, rehabs, the
it,
housing,
yeah, I
all that
haven't
good
I,
stuff.
I haven't like personally explored all of those.
Yeah.
The methadone. I've been adopted and taken into some of these sober living houses, and
Yeah.
I would have continued along that path. I came here with a letter of recommendation, a sweet job I could be working. If a little hand up would make it easier.
Yeah.
Being my ID was taken and all that, and every time you
Yeah.
try to get that stuff, shit's taken from you, and
Yeah.
it's just, you just stop trying after a while. But like with a little help, it'd be a
Yeah.
little easier. And I started that, but my insurance wasn't covering it, and
Okay.
eh, yeah, if I tried little, I know I could try a little harder
Yeah.
and
Hundred
get it
percent.
done and be there, but
100%.
that's all I've really explored. But I've
It's
been
okay,
told
Papa.
about. I've been shown,
Yeah, Papa.
the detox and the various options and stuff.
Sure. Sure. Yeah. I've been out here myself, bro. In and out. 13 years.
Mm-hmm.
Jail, rehab, prison, streets.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I've been through, the system, the recovery system, legal system for sure. I have my card with my phone number.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have any questions, man, I have plenty of resources, bro.
Cool.
So if you have any
Yeah.
questions,
Yeah. Actually,
you
like,
know, I
yeah,
can definitely help you out, bro. Uh,
that's awesome.
know your story's not over. You're a beautiful person. You got a
Thank
beautiful
you.
dog,
Right.
and the main message in my stories when I used to tell just stories, me to the camera, is to I never gave myself a chance, you know, and I just try to apply that every day, brother. And I hope a lot of people give themselves a chance and ultimately get what they want in life, whatever that looks like, just happiness, hope. Um, your story's not over, dog. Last question: if any family or friends see your interview, do you have a message for them?
Yeah. You know, my eldest, means so everything to me, and it's just so hard to. I used to be in contact all the time, and they keep stealing my phone, and I got a phone now that I won't pick up because they can't steal it if I don't pick it up from the fucking store. And I'm like, I'm popping in every like few months and shit. I hate that. I hate it.
Yeah.
I want to be there, especially now that he's grown and um, on his own and stuff. I want to I want to be there, and it's been so hard. I'm trying to figure out how to get back on my feet in that way. It blows my mind that something that seems so easy, so hard, something I want so bad is so hard, and I'm so sorry that I'm not there. Right, like, you can't call me. I'm working on trying to fix that. And yeah, if you hear this, I love you. I love you. I miss you. And I'm, you know, I'm on my way to the library. It'll take probably days to get there, even though it's right over there. And I'll drop another message and shit. I'm gonna try to, when I pick up this phone, not get it stolen.
Yeah.
And maybe we can have some,
Yeah.
weekly back and forth again. So I miss you, and that, yeah,
All
maybe
right.
maybe you see this, that'd be cool.
All right, man. Well, yeah, like I said, I'll give you my information. Do you need food for your dog?
Yeah, we just ran out.
You just run out. Okay.
So
Kinds he like hard food or the canned food?
he likes them both. He eats mostly the kibbles like during the day and stuff, and then
All right.
I throw him some cans at the end of the day often.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll run in here and see what they got. And I also have a body harness with a leash,
Yeah,
so I'll give that to you.
if it'll fit.
It will. It
He's such
will.
a big dog.
I had a dog I just had to put down.
I'm sorry.
I got him when I was using, and I'm just glad he got to have me when he when I'm better. So, well, thank you for your story, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, keep in touch. I'll help you any way I can, man.
Thank you.
All right. Love to see the shoes on your dog too.
Yeah, he's
All right. Thank
missing
you for
one.
your story.